Hey, and we're live.
Here we are. Got a little wine.
Chicken Express sweet tea. Anyway, all right, let's get this thing going. Time to rip off the Band-Aid.
Rip it right off.
Rip it right off. Here we go. All right, so welcome to Pardon Me, Alex, SFA's only lumberjack basketball podcast you will find out there. Man, we have, I don't know, like sometimes I feel that sometimes these shows can be like a therapy session for us. Maybe it's a therapy session for other people too. I don't know. Hopefully it is. But man, we gotta, today's gonna be a rough one to talk about. Let's just say that. But let's start off with some good memories. How about that?
Only the best memories ever.
The best memory you could possibly have as an SFA basketball fan is the Duke upset. Happy Duke upset day.
Happy we beat Duke Day, and it still counts.
It does. It was funny because Carrie had texted me. She said, "You see that?" And someone said, "Like, oh, didn't that get taken away for the 120th time?" No, that win is still a win. It's in the record book. It is a good win. It's not taken away. It never will be taken away. So
for the 85th time, since that was the score,
85 to 83.
We did not vacate that win. However, I want to also remind everyone, like, even the wins that were during the time that we had to vacate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like any of those teams are going, oh, well, you know what? We beat SFA on that day because that win didn't count.
Yeah, it still happened.
The game's already been played and won. So the formality of vacating the win, okay, it sucks, but like we won that game, any game that we had to vacate. So
true story.
That was not included. So
I know exactly. So I just want to relive real fast before we get into the negative, the happiness of that day. So shall we just relive a little bit of the last 40 or so seconds of the game?
I think so.
Okay. I think everyone will really appreciate this. Here we go.
Loose! Casville's got it! They've got a timeout, they don't use it! Yes! The Lumberjacks have done it! The Lumberjacks apparently have done it! They'll look a little longer, but this is going to be the biggest win in program history!
But this is Bain. He's looking up at the clock. Is the ball out of his hand when that clock goes to zero?
Oh my goodness, yes! It is.
Plenty of time.
This is your life.
Wow.
Well, I thought you were going to show part of our little live feed.
I probably shouldn't, because let's just be honest, there were lots of explanatives coming out of my mouth that day. So probably best.
You were like pretty tame considering, I'm not going to lie.
This is true. But I'm pretty sure at one point in the video, I literally dropped like a bunch of like MFers. Like, I don't even know what I said. I said a few things that I probably shouldn't have said on a live feed, but what else is new? Let's just be real.
I mean, I'm so glad that I went back and watched the live feed that you did of the last like 2 minutes of the game, and then time.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I've ever watched our live feed of it until today, because
so funny.
We lived it, but then I was like, oh my God, it was great.
It's so funny. I went back and watched it too earlier today, and I was laughing so hard at it. Just the entire.
I was too, and I want to say there is a so funny moment. I stopped and went back and recorded like a 10-second little clip of where I just want to give kudos to how far Gavin has come to being one of the what did the announcer say? One of the most efficient post players in college basketball, and that he scores 65% of the time he has the ball, because I literally lost it on him once at I think it was in regulation, like right before the end. He had
Right
a
before the end.
very close shot wide open and missed it.
Mhm.
And I literally was in the camera like, I'm going to get you for that, Gavin. Wide open, wide open. I was hot. It's really funny.
Oh my God. Just an absolute wild. Like, just the whole day was amazing. But then just from the end of regulation to overtime, it felt like I was like floating above the entire situation. Like I wasn't even there. Like, if you know what I mean? Like, until I go back and remember, oh yeah, we were there, we saw it, we witnessed it in person. We have video proof, picture proof. Like, sometimes I forget that it actually happened. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it was a dream. Like, it wasn't real. So it was just funny.
I know it was so nice watching back the live feed tonight. I think it gave me more of that feeling that you just described than just watching the game.
Why am I fired? I don't understand, Corey.
Yeah, who's fired? Why?
Probably me. I'm probably fired for some unknown freaking reason. Who knows?
Yeah, because just watching the game again is great, but watching our reactions to the game
even better.
Felt more like I was back there than I have since I was there, and it was wild.
Just a wild scenario. I know. Oh my God. Whew, Lord Jesus. I just can't. Sometimes I have these moments where I wish that it hadn't happened yet. You know what I mean? Like, that we could go back and relive it somehow, because it was just such an amazing day, an amazing game.
Yeah.
The game did some things. What did the game do, Corey? Expand on that.
I know, I'm very confused.
What does it mean? Please expand on that comment, both of all. I mean, it did some things to me internally. Gave me acid reflux, as most SFA basketball games do. This is part of the reason why I have to take Prilosec. To just be honest. Gave me some fanny flutters, and if you don't know what fanny flutters are, Google it. I'm not going to explain that on live TV. I'm not going to explain that. Nope.
Okay, well, big left turn I'll take and say just a little, do you really want me to expand LOL? Well, then probably not. Probably not.
I'm just going to assume that it's something dirty. Got it. Noted.
But big congratulations, shout out. I don't know if you saw this on Facebook today, but or maybe it was yesterday. Anyway, Desmond Heyman and Chan are having a baby girl.
Oh, no, I missed that. I must have completely missed that.
I think it was yesterday they did a gender reveal video, and they are having a little girl. So super excited for them. We miss them.
We do miss them. I really do want to go to a Law Tech game.
Me too.
And see them again, because I do miss them.
Yeah. So this episode is going to be over the championship game, as you all know. David and Gavin were both named to the all-tournament team. So that was pretty cool. They announced that today.
I did see that. Good for them. I'm just resharing the fact that we're live. Not that I don't want the one person who's watching us to feel, like they're not important, but I would like some more eyes on us. So go ahead.
So yeah, one random other note. So whenever the game started, I noticed that their head coach, Travis Ford, he used to coach at Oklahoma State. And he coached at Oklahoma State whenever Marcus Smart and Phil Forte played there, which I saw them win the high school state basketball tournament 2 years in a row. And so then whenever they both ended up going to Oklahoma State, which, if any of y'all know Marcus Smart, he plays for the Celtics now.
Yes.
But he could have probably played anywhere, but he had a stipulation that he only wanted to go somewhere that would take him and Phil, his high school teammate, both. They ended up landing at Oklahoma State. Anyway, so I went and watched an Oklahoma State game whenever they played Texas Tech, because one of my friends that I met at the state tournament goes to Tech. So I flew up there. We went and watched the game. And it was actually the game that Marcus got thrown out because he went into the stands after a Tech fan.
Gotta love that one.
Yeah. So anyway, but so I'm like, oh, that's Travis Ford. Okay. So then we're like, I'm watching the game and I see one of the assistant coaches on the sidelines and I'm like, I think that's Phil Forte. And so I watched a little bit longer and sure enough, one of the announcers said that it was him or whatever, but he was an assistant coach last year at Sam Houston.
Yeah. Okay. I'd have to go back or go and look at the faces for the coaches because, man, you're so much more observant than me. I was paying zero attention. But I totally believe it. I do.
Yeah.
Interesting programming note. Another interesting programming note. Let me go back real quick to the Duke game. It was actually something that was tweeted just maybe like a couple hours ago, 2 hours ago. So Dayton is the second team over the last 10 seasons to come from 15 points down and beat an AP top 5 team on a buzzer beater. Joining us, Stephen F. Austin at number 1 Duke in 2019. That game was 2 years ago today, November 26, 2019. So I guess Dayton just did the same thing. Did they just beat a top 5 team at a buzzer beater today?
Let me look because I should be getting updates for Duke and I didn't get that update.
Well, not Duke. Dayton. Dayton was the second team, but so they beat an AP top 5 team. They didn't beat Duke. They're saying AP. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know.
Yes, they beat Kansas.
Who they beat?
They beat Kansas today by 1 point. Kansas. Yeah.
Excuse me.
They better not have stolen our thunder.
I swear to God, I will be so upset. So upset. Oh shit. See, I haven't been on social media like all day. I've been doing brewery stuff. So I mean, yes, it's on social media, but not basketball social media. Holy shit.
Kansas is number 4 right now, and they got beat by Dayton by 1.
Oh, fudge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my sensor beep. Oh my.
Oh my God.
I forgot I had those. Holy.
That's awesome.
Oh shoot. Oh my God. That's so funny. Oh my Lord. Tell me what this sound is. Ready?
I know it, but I can't think of it right now.
Oh, you'll know it. One more time.
Geez, I don't know.
That's Taco Bell.
Oh.
The Taco Bing Bell. Oh my God. I can't believe they beat Kansas. That's freaking hilarious. Okay, well that makes that tweet make so much more sense now. Holy crap. I love that. I love that for them. Oh, see, Jan knew it was Taco Bell. See, Jan knows what's up. Thanks, Jan. You know what's going on. I have a couple other random voices, but I'm saving them for I'm saving those for when we get to the shit part of the conversation. But anyway, all right. So let's move on to general history, background info. So this was the first time we ever played St. Louis University. If you don't remember, we talked about this a little bit last time at the end of the last podcast, the last live show, that St. Louis University is a private Jesuit research university with campuses in both St. Louis, Missouri, and in Madrid, Spain. Ho, must be cool, I guess. They were founded in 1818 by Louis William Valentine de Bourges, and it is the oldest university west of the Mississippi River, which I think is kind of cool, actually, and the second oldest Jesuit university in the United States. I wonder what the first oldest is, or the oldest, I guess you would say.
I know. Yeah, you should fact check that while I tell the next few little pieces.
Okay, let me see.
Because I'm curious too. So they're really small, which I guess isn't that unexpected since they're private.
Right.
But their undergrad enrollment is less than 7,000. It's 6,917. Yeah. Okay. So last season, their overall record was 14-7, and they were only 6-4 in conference. Not that great. But they are in the Atlantic 10. So their big games last season, they did beat LSU by 4 points, 85-81. And then they made it to the NIT and they lost to Mississippi State 68-74. So that is their last season.
All right. So oldest Jesuit school in the country is Georgetown.
Did not realize that Georgetown was Jesuit.
And let's see. The Association of Jesuit Colleges and Universities is a national organization that links 28 colleges and universities in the United States and some 189 Jesuit institutions of higher learning throughout the world. So there are 28 universities, colleges and universities in the United States that are Jesuit universities. So a little bit of fact checking for you there. Thought that was pretty interesting. Little factoid. Small programming note. It is, also there are a bunch of high schools. Yes, Jan. Correctamundo. Tomorrow, which we'll talk about this again later, but tomorrow in Nacogdoches, if you're in Nacogdoches, it is the Wassail Fest. I'm very sad I'm missing it because I'll be elsewhere, but Wassail Fest. So if you're going to be in Nacogdoches, make sure you go enjoy some wassail. And if you don't know what that is, Google it. Google it.
Mom and I are going to go and take Nanny.
Oh, love that. Please swing by the brewery and take some pictures of whoever's there. Yeah, look at the picture. Dayton. Here's the picture. Hold on.
There you go. Oh, their dog pile doesn't look as good as ours.
Yeah, ours was a lot better, obviously. Yeah.
I mean, did a manager get punched in the face and did one of the players fall to the floor? If you don't meet those two things, it's just not.
If you don't meet those requirements, then you can just honestly just fuck off with your dog pile. Oh my God.
Okay. Nathan still has that on his bio on his Twitter. I think he does. I'm the manager who got punched in the face in the Duke.
Yeah, I think it was. Last time I checked, it was like his pinned tweet.
It was like right on TV.
Let me see here.
The fist coming in.
Yeah, let me check. Let me check what's still there. Hold on.
Or pin tweet. Yeah, not his bio, but whatever.
Yeah. It's still his pin tweet.
Yeah.
You know how many fucking likes and hearts that is? That's 11,000 freaking hearts. Are you kidding me, dude?
You're infamous, Nathan.
I'm gonna retweet it again just for shits and giggles. I'm gonna bump it. I'm gonna say bump.
Say our dog pile was better than yours, Dayton.
I'm tweeting that. Yeah, our dog pile was better than Dayton's. TBH. With a little beep.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, so we had the same starters yesterday as we have so far. We lost 68-79, lost by 11 points.
Mm-hmm.
The attendance at least was up for that game.
Yeah. It did look like there was a lot more people in the stands for this one, which is nice. So that's good.
I guess people showed out for the
championship one. Yeah.
All right. So how do those WAC standings look? I bet they probably haven't changed that much. But.
Yeah, beginning of the season, it really doesn't change too much. I mean, we fell a little bit, obviously, because we lost. So California Baptist still okay. Wow. Well, let me go back here. So there's a 4-way tie for first between California Baptist, New Mexico, Seattle, and Utah. All have lost one game. Then Grand Canyon is 4-1. Then we're 4-2, along with UT Rio Grande, and then you have Chicago State, Abilene. Chicago State, Abilene's at 1-2. Sam Houston 2-4. I mean, they are not doing well. Dixie State 1-4, Lamar 1-5, and Tarleton 1-5. So both Lamar and Tarleton are struggling. But yet again, it goes back to who they've played so far. So, I mean, it's the beginning of the season, non-conference games. I'm really not putting a lot of – trying to, not anyway. Put a lot of stock into the pre-conference games, the non-conference games. I mean, because a lot of these teams are playing cupcake teams, and then a lot of the rest of them are playing really hard teams. You know what I mean? Like, Yeah, a few of our games have been cupcake, a few, because they're like not even in D1. But then ever since then, we've played, really good mid-major teams. And then a lot of these other teams in the WAC have been playing, some Power 5 schools. Yeah, so
Yeah, it's hard to get an accurate read because
it really is. And that's why it's going to be really, really interesting whenever we get around to conference play and we start playing, New Mexico and Grand Canyon and Seattle and all these teams that we've, haven't really, we don't know much about them because we've never really seen them play before in person. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how all this goes this first season. So that's the WAC for you. Wickety wackety.
Okay, so Sean Kennedy stat section. Everyone just get ready because it's not.
Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. Oh, Cat fans would like to know, have we figured out what a Billiken is? And yes, we figured it out. Billikens are.
We talked about it in the last episode. I guess you didn't watch.
He didn't. He told us he wasn't going to be. He said, missing the show tonight. Our humble apologies. As we know, our little remarks provide smiles, laughs, and some high-quality content. He sent that to me before the last show, and I said, unexcused absence. It's okay. We will miss you. So yes, a Billiken is a good luck mythical good luck creature. To me, he looks like a fat Buddha devil. Yeah. That's about as good of a description as you're going to get there, Cat fans. You're welcome.
Yeah. Listen, it's unique. They're the only ones
with it. And I feel like that's why we titled this SFA versus the Good Luck Billikens, because I'm pretty sure they had all the luck on their side and we got dick.
They did. They had the good luck. Okay. So Sean Kennedy's stat section. Our overall field goal percentage is 44.2, which isn't abysmal, but wasn't good enough. Our 3-point percentage was completely abysmal.
Just bad.
16.7.
I don't think I remember a shittier 3-point percentage. Like,
I think that's about the lowest we've ever had.
Oh God.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It was bad. Said suck.
Not good. However, the free throw percentage was up 74.1%.
Yeah.
So that was helpful.
That was better. I will say that was better.
That was helpful. We did have decent points in the paint. We had 42 points in the paint.
Yeah.
We had 23 points off of turnovers, which was actually decent. Only 3 second chance points. Our offensive boards were like just down the toilet, non-existent.
Bad.
Best break points, we had 20. Bench points, we had 26, which was fairly decent. Not a bad showing, but considering how much bench players we had in, it maybe could have been more. Anyway, 28 total rebounds. We only had 8 offensive boards. 20 defensive boards.
I need to throw up. I need a throw up sound. I wish there was a throw up sound.
Yeah. We had 24 fouls, which is only 4 more than what they had. Ours were just all on our main starters.
Yeah, and I feel like they were at really critical, integral parts of the game. Not only were they on the starters, which we'll talk about later, but it was at very critical moments where it just made it even worse. Like, it made it our situation even down the poop chute even more.
Yeah, insurmountable, I would say.
Great word. Freaking great word, yes.
15 turnovers. They had 16. So, the turnovers weren't terribly offensive. We had 9 steals and 7 blocks. So our game leader, and dare I say, player of the game, would be our boy Day. He almost had a double-double. He had 14 points and 7.
He did almost have a double-double.
3 blocks and 1 steal. And I will say quickly, I'll elaborate more on it later, but one of his blocks was just the sickest shit I've ever seen.
It was a monster block.
It was great. David had 12, and despite their limited playing time because David only played 26 minutes and Gavin only played 28.
Mhm.
David had 12 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal. And Gavin had 11 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 1 steal. So still pretty good considering their much decreased playing time.
Yeah, I would say I would definitely agree with the whole Day being played. If David, it's honestly a split for me between David and Day. Like I feel like when David was on the court, he was a difference maker, you know, and that can kind of lead into feats of strength because that was one of my feats of strength was, you know, feats of strength was that David. I mean, for me, I said MVP, our king. I even tweeted it. I was like, David, when he's on the court, he is the magic miracle worker, or he was in that game. I feel like during this Cancun challenge, he has been like our dude, you know. And here's the thing. I just feel like anybody else that tries to play point is just fucking blowing it, bro.
Yeah, I will.
Which we'll talk about.
But yeah, I'll save that for.
Yeah,
but
we'll talk about. But David just, I mean, yes, Day was a monster off the bench, and thank God for that because I feel like if he wasn't playing as well as he did off the bench, I feel like the game would have been even worse.
Oh yeah,
way worse. So David, when he was playing, you know, when he was sitting, it was almost like the offense was so stagnant, like we couldn't even get anything going.
Yeah.
You know, like I mentioned, the free throw percentage was way better. That's about normally in the 70s where we lie. So I like seeing that better. Obviously, it's not spectacular, but 20 out of 27, that's way better than what it has been in the 50s. So I'll take that all day long. And I don't know. There were some good moments of defense. I'm trying to find the goods here, you know, the good moments of defense, really good moments. And then it would just kind of filter and kind of fleeting away. And Jacqueline has a few other notes about that when it came to foul trouble and things like that, but we'll talk about that later. And I'm glad you are going to mention this about the announcers.
So yeah, I really enjoyed, and I don't know that I knew either of those two guys. I mean, I think they both do quite a bit of ESPN stuff, but I don't know that. I don't know that I've necessarily heard them before, but they were both really good, like very knowledgeable, very complimentary of us in their like fact checking that they knew about us. And they were just funny. Like I felt like they were really good little comments and color commentary. But yeah, so they were again like very complimentary of David and Gavin. One of them was like Stockton and Malone out there, and I was like, I totally see it. I mean, yeah, definitely. They were saying Gavin's the most underrated front court guy in college basketball. Really good. And then like to brag on Day, I mean, just amazing game. High point. He again had at least 1 or 2 times where he went in and got his rebound and made the second chance.
Yes.
Well, I guess it was only one because we only had 3 seconds.
There was only once.
But yeah, he
did that.
Got his own rebound, put it back up. And then he got one of his blocks that was amazing. One of the announcers was like, "No soup for you." And I died.
I knew as soon as he said that, I was like, Jacqueline, I told Mom and Dad, I was like, Jacqueline's probably loving that comment. Like she's probably on the floor crying, laughing.
Cackle.
No soup for you.
It was great. It was great.
If you don't get the references, then you just need to, you don't know us very well, then obviously, or you don't pay attention to our shit. Just look at how our shit is. I mean, we pretty much reference Seinfeld constantly in the show. So,
yeah, and we almost exclusively use Seinfeld GIFs for responses for things.
Almost. I mean, there's only a few times where there's nothing Seinfeld that works, but I mean, it pretty much does.
Yeah. And our segments are named after Seinfeld. But yeah, that was great. Okay, another moment that the announcers had that I was, oh my God, I was dying. And I'm pretty sure it was when Day went in and got his own rebound and put it back up. It was some really good play that Day made. I think that was it. And they like panned over the bench, and man, Keller was like,
oh my God,
like that right in the camera, and one of them was like he chopped down a tree.
That face was monumental. I wish someone would have gotten a gif of that face. I have never. We've seen Keller make faces. I have never seen Keller make that face before. I mean, it was.
I've never seen him so animated in my entire life.
Never. It was wild. It was a wild face. I honestly couldn't stop laughing for like 5 minutes. I was tickled to death at that face Keller made.
I was so happy that the camera person caught it.
I know.
Actors immediately made a super funny lumberjack related comment about it.
I could not. It was the funniest. I was laughing so hard. I really wish that it was on TV, that I could like record it, which again, thank you for coming in clutch, because I legitimately thought that I had this freaking channel, CBS Sports Network. I go after we record, I go pull it up on my TV and it's on there, but it's grayed out. So obviously I get every other channel under the friggin' sun. I get all these, SEC, Big Ten, ACC, all these other channels, but CBS Sports Network? No, what the frick? Anyway, so I had to message Jacqueline and she gave me her parents' login and I was able to watch it that way. But I wish I could have recorded it so I could have gone back and got that little moment of his. I wish there was a way. I wish there was a way to go back and get it.
And two things. I think a lot of people apparently didn't have that channel, because also Sean texted me and I gave him the login to use to watch it. And then the way that I had to watch it through the app, it would only allow you to pause but not rewind.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I'm like paranoid to pause it, because if it messes up, I can't rewind. So
right.
If I go again and it's just live, I'm going to have missed something. But I'm going to look and see if there's some sort of way to rewatch it online and get that little clip.
Oh my God, because that
was amazing.
Never in my life. Like I said, I was dying. I couldn't stop laughing at that. His face, I've never before seen this. But yeah, I really enjoyed the announcers. I love listening to announcers who at least have some semblance of knowledge of our team and the other team, like both sides. That they know what they're talking about. They know basketball. Either they've played it or they've coached it or they've watched it their entire, like, you know what I mean? I'm absolutely tired of listening to announcers and play-by-play guys who know absolutely zip zada duda about sports. It's getting really ridiculous. And so I'm glad to get some guys who at least, are animated and they actually can call a game good, and they're interesting to listen to and they're funny and they're not just, in the words of my mother, sucking on one person's D the entire time.
Yeah.
Hate that. When you're watching a game, I don't care what sport it is, football, basketball, baseball, I don't care. And you have announcers and play-by-play analysts who are literally talking about one team the entire time and just all over their Johnson. And then you have nothing about the other team. I don't care who it is. You got to be more unbiased in that when you're doing stuff like that. So
yeah, I agree. I think my last feat of strength I had was, even though the foul trouble absolutely killed us, some of the bench guys did really step up. Case in point, Day, and I thought Nono had a really great game too on just stepping up. He had really like killer stats as far as points. I think he scored like 4 or 5 points.
But he had a really nasty block as well. He had a block. Day had 3 technically. Jalen had 1. Calvin had 1. Gaben had 1. I made a note about all the blocks. There were some really good blocks in there. And Nana had 1 of them for sure too.
Yeah. So I think that's all on my feats of strength.
Yeah, it's not easy finding the positives when we have such a game like that. But there's always going to be a few things that we notice that they did well, like the free throw shooting was a lot better. Good blocks. Day had a fantastic game himself, like his own personal stats were good. Shockingly, no one fouled out, but the amount of foul trouble was just wild, which again, we'll talk about now. Actually, we're going to go into the grievances now.
With the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it. You.
I don't even want to talk about it.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go for it. Because again, it just is hard to talk about, but we got to do it. Unfortunately, to me, it's just one big.
It was not fun. I think just even kind of from the beginning, I sort of felt uneasy. But okay. First of all,
okay.
At one point in the first half, we let them go on a 12-0 run. I was like, what the actual, like, what is going on? Stop. And then, I mean, a part of that was the foul trouble. My God, the foul trouble. And that just, it really did hurt us because, you know, we've talked about this before, and I mean, it's a struggle when you get some of your key players in foul trouble where you don't have anyone else to really step into that role. And it's no slight to them because that's not their position, you know, but I mean, Rati is not our point guard. I mean, I feel like he does the best that he can, and some days it's certainly better than others, but he's not meant to be the point guard. He is a great two guard, not meant to be a point guard. So it's tough. That is the toughest position to step into and do if that's not your playing style or makeup.
I have a lot to say about Rati. I really do. And this, I'm sorry. Like, actually, I'm not sorry. No, you, how do I say this? You are a senior, These fifth-year senior, thank you for the correction. You are a fifth-year senior. How in the actual are you having so many tiny easy mistakes that have just literally add up to one big. He dribbled off his foot at least 2 or 3 times. Like, how? What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I'm legitimately asking, what are you doing? Like, how are you shot clock violations, dribbling off his foot? He is not a point guard. He's not. And these are the days that we're really, really missing a backup point guard. Like when David has to sit because of foul trouble or other issues. And I understand that's not Rati's natural position. Like, I get it. And he's just trying to fill that void. I totally understand. But we got to find somebody else to take that. We cannot continue using him as point guard.
Yeah. And I'm hoping as we go through the season that, you know, there will be some development with one of the new guys. I mean, there's going to have to be. Obviously, they've had to recruit someone that they feel like they're going to groom to step into that.
But they need to get that rolling now because David won't be there forever. Obviously, this is his last year. Like, this is it.
David and Rati both are going to, you know, this is their last season. So it's early in the season. So I'm ready to see who is the next point guard.
You know, and it's one of those things where, in the words of Gordon Ramsay,
absolutely pathetic.
When it comes to the foul trouble, I cannot believe it. Pathetic. And I don't know if it's more pathetic on the refs with some of those fouls that they were handing out. Yes, some of them definitely fouls. Obviously, it's yes. But there was a few there, specifically the tech on Keller. What the actual fuck?
Okay, so do you want to explain what our source told us?
Yeah, okay. So we sent,
and then I'll give my background opinion on that.
Right, yes. Yeah. Okay. So I sent a message to our friend Dylan, who was actually at the game. If you noticed him, he was the tall white boy standing up in the bleachers, cheering and giving, the refs the business the whole time. Okay, so I messaged him on Twitter and I said, Dylan, what the actual hell was that tech? Okay. This is word for word what Dylan said. He said, literally, Keller was talking to an entire other ref about the bad calls of the tall ref, or the taller ref of the three. The tall ref saw that Keller was complaining to another ref, got upset, and called the T. And that's why Keller was saying, and everybody could see him mouthing it, and the announcers saw him say it, like, it's all part of the game. It's all part of the game. Well, of course. That happens all the time. Are you kidding me?
1,000%. It is coming from a referee's daughter. That is part of the game, because here's the thing. First of all, there's always a lead official. Okay. Mm-hmm. So generally the coach the coach would take up any grievances with the lead official because he's the one kind of supervising
in charge.
However, that might not have been the lead official. Even if it wasn't, it's still fine for him to speak to any of the three. In fact, it's more common for the coach to speak to one of the referees about a complaint with a different official rather than straight complaining to that official, because it's more of a like, hey man, like, first of all, it all depends on which of the referees the coach is kind of like clicking with the most, because a lot of times there may be a referee, and obviously this is not the case in that game because we probably never had those referees before, but generally there are, like, the coach can't necessarily dictate exactly what officials they're going to have, but they can ask the head of the chapter, like they can say, we absolutely don't ever want these referees, or we really prefer these, or whatever. And they kind of take that into consideration. So you might have a ref that you've had multiple times throughout the season. You kind of have a rapport with them, and you can be like, hey man, can you kind of get your partner to like pay attention to this or that under the bucket, or watch for this player getting too handsy or whatever. So it's completely 1,000% part of the game for if he had a complaint about one of the other officials to just be like, hey man, can you ask your partner to like watch this? Or can you ask him to do this or that? Like, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all.
It wasn't like Keller was being verbally, rude or just like disrespectful. Like, I don't think he did anything that was warranted of a T.
And
honestly, it wasn't even the guy he was bitching to that gave him the T. It was the dude on the other side of the court.
Honestly, it was probably a matter of proximity, that's just the ref who was right beside him. So he's like, hey man, can you ask him to watch this, rather than like scream across the court at this other official?
Correct.
Like, it's literally not a big deal at all. It is 1,000% part of the game.
100%. Another point that Dylan had made was that I guess he had overheard someone at the game say that this tournament goes kind of cheap on refs, and those guys aren't even normal Division I refs. Like, they don't usually ref or work a Division I game. They're all small league or high school dudes.
And see, that I would love to know more information on that, because that would really surprise me, considering that they're paying for like really good ESPN commentators. Why would they be chinchy on the officiating? Like, that's odd to me. But I mean, I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying that's very conflicting. And
yeah, I mean, I would like to definitely fact check that and or find out maybe if there's a way to look back and see the names of the refs that were at that game, and like maybe if there's a way to see where they normally ref at, like if there's some sort of like tracker or some sort of something out there that shows us. Whew. It was just bad. That whole sequence really kind of, I feel like, brought down. I mean, there was a myriad of different things that obviously the refs missed, like that call on Rati, where the guy literally flopped, and they called it on Rati as a foul. He literally flopped over. Rati wasn't even close. Like, mind-boggling, just mind-boggling stuff. It's stuff like that. Obviously, yes, that doesn't help the win or the loss, or doesn't help us win or lose or whatever, but it doesn't help. It doesn't help. Like, obviously that wasn't the reason we lost 100%, but it doesn't help. We already had ourselves into a freaking hole before all this, other fouls and techs and things came into play. But the foul trouble was absolute garbage, just garbage. Rati itself, he was just having a really bad game, but he hasn't really been playing that great all season, to be fair. I'm going to be honest. I haven't really seen anything from him that's been magical so far. And I feel like this was the same last year.
I was going to say, I feel like it takes him a minute to get in the groove.
But sometimes we don't have.
I know. And it's disappointing. And I think we're more critical on him because we see how good he can be at the end of the season. And then we have these expectations where we're just like, where is our Rati from last season? And then when he finally arrives, we're like, here they are. Hey, Joey. Got to brush up on your flopping skills.
I think Joey has to brush up, actually. I think Joey's more of a brush up guy.
But yeah, then when he finally arrives, we're just like, this is our Rati. Where has he been?
And I want that, but I want that sooner. I don't want Rati to wait until halfway through the end of the season. And it's January or February. And he's just now showing up. I want him to show up now.
My humble request, if he will show up before the Kansas game, because we know how well he did in the Duke game. And listen, if he wouldn't have hustled and gotten that last year, the Duke game wouldn't have been the Duke game. So we need that dude.
We need that dude who plays lights out defense, and just and shoots the ball. I'm not saying we need him to be our 3-point shooter. It would be great if he was. I would love that. Would love that. If we had a consistent 3-year, I would love it. But we just need him to be that guy. Just to be that guy. That's all I want. That's all we want. That's all we ask for. Just another humble request. But as you know, a lot of times our humble requests we get side-eye for. So
take it as you will.
I tell you what. Other thing too is explain the passing into the paint shit. I
mean,
Jacqueline,
we had the absolute shittiest passes into the lane I've ever seen in my entire life in that one game.
I wanted to throw up. There were just so many passes into the paint and into the lane that were literally thrown right to Yuri or whoever was down there, Jimerson, whoever was down there in the paint with whoever was in the paint for us. I mean, weren't even just way over the head, right to them. Just
yeah. There were so many moments where I was like, oh, why are you doing that? Too many.
Are you stupid?
So yeah, going off that, one of my other grievances was Jimerson. Man, that dude, he played a lot bigger than he really was.
Good point.
He for real did, because there were multiple possessions where I was like, God bless, this dude's a freaking monster. And then their team would huddle and he'd be the shortest one.
Yeah.
He's not the biggest dude on their team at all, or even that much bigger than any of our dudes. He's 6'5". I mean, most of their other players who were playing were 6'6", 6'8". He was just he played a lot bigger than he was.
He is just a good player. He's just a good player. Gibson Jimerson, he had 19 points. He was 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 2 of 5 3-pointer, 5 of 10 field goal. He's just good. And let's see what else. I will say though, he had no personal fouls, which is shocking.
Yeah,
he didn't have any blocks, but I'm shocked that he didn't have any personal fouls.
I don't think that's an accurate, fair depiction, because if you played like he played, you can't come out completely unscathed with 0 fouls.
There's no way. There's just no way. That's what I'm saying. He was playing very aggressively down there into the paint. How he doesn't have a foul booked under his name, I am sure.
Yeah, he's good, but he ain't that good.
He is not that good. There's no way he's that good.
No. So also they had a transfer from Central Arkansas who we let put a 3 down on us, and he did really well. He had like I guess he had the third most points on the team. He had 10. I was just like, come on. Oh,
Jones
transfer. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing too, and I know he only played for literally 2 minutes, but one thing that really kind of chapped my ass was Crawford. When he got in, it just looked like he was lost. And literally lost. Like I said, thank God he was only in for 2 minutes, and bless his little heart, but he was in there and he looked like he didn't know what was up, what was down, what was side to side. It just kind of looked like he was just like, oh, I don't know what the heck he was doing. I don't know. But that's just my thing. Like when you're called off the bench and it's that type of a game where we have a lot of foul trouble, and the fact that the bench may get more playing time like that, you need to know your role when you come into that game, man. You gotta know what you're doing, know who your man is. I mean, don't look that lost.
Yeah, and it can be hard to get called in cold off the bench and immediately be like in the groove, but
yeah,
you gotta make a really hard effort when you're on the bench of really being super engaged in the game and watching whatever player you would normally be subbing for. Immediately be ready to see who you're guarding, who your man is, where you're supposed to be at, what kind of plays they're running, where you're supposed to be on defense, etc.
And that's the thing. But another point to that too is if you want to go in more, like you got to show the coaches something when you do go in, and you know what I mean. You got to show that you actually know what you're going, know what's happening, the plays, your man, the type of offense that's being run or whatever it is, whatever it is. If you want to go in more and play more, then that's one great way to show that you're ready to do that.
Yeah.
Is just hop off the bench and be ready to go and know exactly what's going on. Be ready. Man, it's just like, again, it's just really hard, really, really hard to talk about such a difficult game to watch like that. There was moments of good, but there was also moments of just, again, absolute, just not good stuff. So that brings us to the one-word summary for the game. Jax?
Mine was uneasy. I honestly just from tip, I just felt uneasy. Like I never felt very confident.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with you. Uneasy. It was very uneasy. My word was wolf. Woof. Like Buzz, your girlfriend, wolf. Yeah. From Home Alone. It was just, there was just a lot of there was just too much going on that I was not very, very, very happy about at all. It was just a lot of suck. And it's just, I wasn't enjoying myself. I was really excited for the game. I was like, we're in the championships. We're in the championship round. This is good. This is great. We're playing against, I guess, a decent team. Didn't know much about them, but I was like, let's go. We're playing. And then it just went downhill real quick. Their 3-point shooters were not missing. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Didn't like it one bit. So, what's going on this weekend? What's going on tomorrow, girlfriend, and Sunday?
Well, we have lots going on this weekend, both of us.
We do.
But lots of other stuff. So I'm coming tonight so that I can run with my little run club in the morning. And then we're doing Thanksgiving again tomorrow with my dad's family for lunch. But this weekend, Alex and I are doing a little divide and conquer SFA athletics support with our moms. So tomorrow, Alex and her mom going to ride the fan bus to San Antonio. Watch SFA football. Oh, there she is. Hey, Mama Tess. Are you ready to get on the fan bus?
Woo, yeah. Let's go. Football.
The guys are already there. They already posted pictures of them on the field.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
I
And it
know.
looks like a high school football field.
Well, we knew that. We know UIW doesn't have the best facilities.
Yeah.
We've already had major discussions about that.
Yeah, well.
Hold on, Jan has a question.
All right.
The player.
Okay, so that was a consolation, like that bracket. There were two different brackets, Jan. So there was like the Mayan division or the Riviera division or something like that. So there were two different brackets, and so the other bracket, it was, there wasn't like the tournament. It wasn't
Because
yeah.
there were 8 teams total, I think. in that
Mhm. There were two different brackets, 4 and 4.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, y'all are riding the fan bus tomorrow. Where can we watch the game if we don't go? Is it on ESPN Plus or?
Yeah, it's on ESPN Plus. So yeah, tomorrow we're leaving. Actually, we're leaving pretty fracking early, so I can't do too much tonight. We're leaving from the commuter lot at like 7. We got to be there by 6:45. I know, early. So we're leaving the commuter lot at 7. Getting there, or probably like it's a 5-hour trip. So again,
Yeah.
on a bus. Yeah. Again, I don't really feel like driving it, so that's good.
Yeah.
So she's writing me freaking notes, bro. Hold on. Did you mention DK and Gavin in the all-team Cancun tournament?
We did. We mentioned them at the very beginning.
Sure.
Oh, she's so concerned about DK.
Yeah. Bless her for making sure that
Lord,
DK and G Money get their
and G Money.
Sorry.
Well, we knew his nickname was G Money. We knew that. We knew that.
Didn't know the other one was DK.
Yeah, we didn't know his nickname was DK.
And then, so what time is the game tomorrow?
I'm sorry. So the game tomorrow is at 2, I believe, and then you can watch it on ESPN Plus. The game's at 2, and then after the game's over, we're heading obviously back on the bus, coming back here. I know UIW they're a good football team, but I don't know. I don't know what the odds are, us versus them. I'd have to look that up and see what the matchup predictor says. And then, of course, on Sunday, Jacqueline's going on a little mom-daughter trip, too. Where are you going?
Yeah, so Sunday, Mom and I are going to drive over to Natchitoches and watch the men's basketball game.
I'm so excited for you. I know. I'm glad that you and Mom are going to that. And so we're kind of splitting up our duties, and I'll be here in NAC watching the game. I think it's on at NSUdemon.com or something like that. I don't know how I'm going to be able to watch the game.
Let me look.
Yeah, I'm trying to find what the odds are. Also, side note, SFA is playing tonight in the Van Chancellor Classic. The women are. That starts at 6. Well, literally right now, 6:30. And actually, guess who we're playing? New Mexico Lobos.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And that is in Katy.
Yeah, the Northwestern game, it says it's going to be on NSUdemons.com. So I bet it costs like $5-7, something like that.
Of course.
To watch. I can't remember.
Freaking course.
Yeah, I can't remember for sure because last season we both went whenever we played them there. So it's been a while since I've tried to watch. Online.
Let's see here if they have matchup predictor on here.
For the UIW game?
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. All it's telling me is where the game's at. Their capacity is 6,000.
What's our capacity at
least double that because we have all that grass.
That's
at least double that.
I'm gonna look it up because I'm not for sure.
But 6,000? No wonder it looks like a high school football stadium. That ain't nothing. My high school has more capacity than that.
Yeah, it says the capacity of Homer Bryce is 14,575.
Yeah, I knew it was at least double that, if not more. Yeah.
That's what the Google says.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That is what I call bad. Yeah, I don't know. So I was trying to find the matchup predictor. Usually they have it on ESPN. They don't. It's not telling me at all what the probability is. So I'd have to probably Google a line or something like that. I don't know. Anyway. So we're excited. We're excited for the weekend. Our weekend activities. I'll, again, try and figure out how to watch the game from home. And then also on Sunday evening, having some friends over for some high-quality Friendsgiving atmosphere. Hopefully Jacqueline will make it back in time. She can come over. I think she should be able to make it back in time to come over, have some fun food. I mean, we have so much turkey left over. So much turkey left over.
How amazing was it? Because listen, that turkey leg that you posted a picture of looked
money.
Divine.
Money. So good. It was delicious. Like Brendan's barbecue is delicious. So sometimes it's confusing. So there's Brendan's barbecue and then Chambers Smokehouse, but his first name is Brendan. So there's Brandon Chambers, and then there's Brendan's. So Brendan's does turkeys and brisket and all that stuff. You can order obviously for different holidays. And so for the past few years now, we've been doing turkeys from him. So good. His smoked turkeys are bomb. So good. So and yeah, it's like $75, but you get a ton of turkey. So absolutely excited to dive into that on Sunday night. Have some people over, drink, have a fire outside, have a little bit of, excitement going into the last week of school for me. Well, full week of school.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Yeah, I'm excited to come back and have a little Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm trying to see. If I could pull up the line on the damn football game. They're not really telling me much of anything. All right, so always remember to make sure that you follow us on all the different social medias, and of course, don't forget to order your My Plates. When you buy a 5-year personalized purple SFA plate from myplates.com, SFA Athletics gets almost $250 from that purchase. It's a fun, easy way to support your teams. Renew that 5-year and get SFA gets nearly 400 doll hairs. It's a wild, wild deal. But man, SFA gets a lot of money from that, athletics specifically. So make sure that if you want to support your Lumberjacks, you go to www.myplates.com/lumberjacks. You can also get a $50 rebate. Just takes a few minutes. And if you don't feel like shoveling out $500 or whatever, however much you want to, get a 1-year, 3-year, 5-year plan. You don't feel like shoveling all that out at one time. You can always do layaway, which is a great way to pay it off little by little over a few month period. And you're able to get your My Plates and stick them on your car. Again, it's a great way to show your Lumberjack pride. Real fans have My Plates. Don't forget to order those My Plates. Yeah. Anywho, trying to find the line. One sec. Still no line. Don't know. Oh wait, odds. Odds not available yet. Screw you, ESPN. Not pleased.
That seems kind of late, but whatever.
I know. Like the game's tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'd have to probably go on some betting site in order to find it. Like it's not up on Fox Sports or ESPN.
For less than 24 hours out, like I feel like that should be available.
You would think so. You would think so. Anyway, don't know what the matchup predictor says or who's favored to win or not, what the lines are. If anybody knows, let us know, because who knows, I might put some money on it. But anyway, just know that if we win, then we actually go
get our rematch with Sam Houston.
Yeah, which going to that game is pretty much going to be impossible for Jacqueline and I because we'll be at SFA because we have a basketball game that afternoon. So,
what day would it be?
The Saturday coming up, so the 4th.
Oh.
it's Christmas parade day. We have a basketball game that afternoon at 2. And then most likely the playoff game will be either in the afternoon or early evening. And there's just no way. I know.
Can't be everywhere at once.
Unfortunately, we can't. So
We have to clone ourselves. That's what needs to happen.
we have to clone ourselves. There has to be a way to do that. It's 2021, almost 2022. There has to be a clone. There has to be a clone. A way to clone our lives.
As if y'all don't get enough of us with just one.
You know you want more. That sounded weird. Anyway, so oh my goodness. All right, guys. So hopefully you guys had a really good Halloween. Well, a little late.
That
Hope-
too. That
I
too.
know, that too. Hope you had a really good Thanksgiving. I know I did, and Jacqueline did as well. And then we're gonna have more Thanksgiving this weekend, so we're gonna have lots of Thanksgivings,
And
lots of food, and Friendsgivings and Thanksgivings and food until we have food coming out of our ears. Hope you had a good time with your friends and family. I know we did, and we will this weekend. Excited for both the Lumberjacks to play UIW tomorrow in football. Again, if you want to watch the game, they're going to have a watch party at Buffalo Wild Wings in Nacogdoches as well. So get on over there and watch it. And if you're going to come out to the game, we'll be tailgating before the game starts. And we will obviously be sitting over in the general admission section on the, behind the team. So make sure you come find us, get excited, wear your comfy and warm clothes because it's going to be cold. And Jacqueline, you and Mom have a safe trip too. And here comes Tess again.
I forgot what you wanted.
Meat, cheese, and Dijon mustard.
Oh.
She's making us sandwiches to take on the bus since who the hell knows if there's going to be any food stops or anything. We got to have food. Have food. So she's making 5 hours on a bus and no snackies.
Gotta have something.
Gotta have something. So we're making ourselves little snacks, little lunches, little meals just in case. So gotta have something. Gotta have something in the tum-tum.
Yeah. I'm excited for y'all. Tomorrow is gonna be fun. I really hope we win.
I know, me too. But also don't forget,
Yeah.
we beat Duke. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys have a great night, and always remember to act some jacks.
With Alex and Jax.
Bye.